So the house was hit by lightning. There are several appliances in the house that stopped working, including the TV. TV was unresponsive, and I'm going to show you how I went about fixing it. The first thing I did was look at unplugging all the accessories from it. So unplug the DVD player, unplug all the other cables that were hooked into it. And then from that, I got a solid light from the unit. Wasn't flashing, just solid light. And then I did a hard reset after talking with Sony, which is basically unplug the unit and then hold down the power button manually. There might be a volume button on your TV, and plug it back in after 30 seconds and then let the power button go. Now my light that's in the center of the TV right there started flashing. So that was a different condition. So I looked online for ideas. I couldn't find anything. Some said it was the power board. Some said it was the over here power board. Some said it was the T-Con board over there or the main board over there. So decided to jump in. The boards are only about $60 for each for the power boards, and the new motherboard was about $150. Relative to the TV cost, it's pretty cheap. So remove the backing plate, the backing cover. There's a lot of screws that you can just unscrew all the way around, and there's also some pinch clamps. You just need a pair of pliers to pinch the clamp, and then it pops up. Once that's done, the tricky part is there's 3 on both sides. You just need a little pry bar and pry those up, and then the back plate pops off. So the next thing I did was I removed the power board number 1, replaced it, and there was no change in the condition. The light was still flashing. The second thing I did was I changed the second power board, and that got a different response. It went from flashing red to a solid red and green, but the TV still wouldn't turn on. There was nothing on the screen. So that I ordered a new main board over here, and that was the ticket that turned everything around. The light the red and green lights turned off, and then now it was a solid white light. So when you turn on the power, you're going to hear this board over here click, that turns on, and then this light turns white. So as far as any tricks I found, difficulties, these 2 pins here, you squeeze the connectors and then the ribbon cable pulls out. These 2 guys are a bit more challenging. What I found is you had to take a small screwdriver and push in the indentation right there and there, and then you could slide it out, pulling on the blue ribbon part. But otherwise, it was pretty easy. Just be careful. These capacitors still hold a load. I don't know how to discharge them. I got shocked once taking the board out, so something to be concerned about. Just try to grab the edges. And likewise, when I plug in, after I've tested the system and I was changing boards back and forth, I got a big shock or a big spark out of that connection right there. So just be aware of electricity. Thankfully, the TV still works and we're all good. So I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together. Just a point to note, I did have the Ethernet cable here hooked into the TV because I was getting faster response rates with the cable versus Wi-Fi. My whole Wi-Fi system went down. The router went down. All the switches went down. Additional periphery routers also went down. So I think the electricity came through the Ethernet cable. The TV was on a surge protector, and I do have a whole house surge protector also, and all of those are still working. So, all right. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, please drop me a line, and hope your projects get solved too. Have a good one.